What are the dangers of tax deed investing? Is the topic of today's video. Where can you go wrong and lose it all at one tax deed intersection of life? That's what we're going to chat about today. I'm Dustin Hahn. We use the strategies in this channel to do deals all over the US. We do hundreds of deals, bought property for 40 to 90% below market value, and we share with you the tips that we've figured out along the way through years of trial and error, screwing everything up and down the whole block to get our lessons and hopefully save you some of that pain. So let's talk about what are some of the dangers and mistakes that can be made with tax deed investing. First off, tax deeds are when you buy a property at an auction generally for the back taxes owed plus what somebody bids. Now, plenty of times there might not be somebody bidding against you, or maybe the property is left over and you buy it over the counter at a really good price. Like we've got properties sometimes for pennies on the dollar. Like I've bought property for as little as 50 bucks. One of my first deals was 40 acres of land that I bought for 4,200 bucks, sold it for 20 grand. There's a lot of great deals. One of our students, Kevin, bought a car wash for 6 grand. It was worth hundreds of thousands. I don't even like telling that story because it sounds too good to be true, but it's not, it's real. And with tax deed investing, it's not a matter of if you're gonna get huge home run deals, it's just a matter of when. You just have to stay consistent with it, okay? Now that being said, what are some of the dangers of tax deed investing? Well, first off, with tax deeds, you always have to see that property with your own eyes. It's very important. You have to be there in person, okay? I've seen people at auctions just look at, say, Google Earth or maybe a Zillow picture, and they go and they bid and they buy the property based on that image. What those images don't show you is maybe there's been a fire on that property. Maybe it's been flooded. You don't see that until you go and see what's going on. I've literally seen people break down in tears because I watched them buy a property that was garbage or burnt to the ground, and I was curious thinking like, why did you buy this thing? And I go ask them, like, oh, it's a good deal, look at the picture. And then I show them my pictures and video, and the thing is burnt to the ground, and they literally break down into tears. So that's why you always need to see it. Now, buying things without seeing it is a danger at tax deed sales. That's why you can't really do tax deeds virtually. Sure, some of the sales are online, but you still need to physically go and look, because remember, you're buying all cash, right? So tax deed investing can be very high ROI, but the risk is higher. Versus with wholesaling, you can do it virtually, and you can see inside the property before you buy it or wholesale it, right? However, with deeds, you need the money, but they're a lot of fun. So that's the next risk, is that you can't see inside the property. Now, if there's nobody living there, then maybe you'll go peek in the window, but a lot of the times folks live there, so you don't want to disturb them or bring about any negative attention. Now, that does remind me of what I do when I'm looking at property. So remember, depending on where you're looking at property, it can seem a little weird and suspicious to be just kind of, driving around real slow and looking out the window, taking pictures sometimes. So what I do, a little tip, is whenever I'm looking at property or I see people that are looking at me, I wave to them like I've known them all my life. And it really screws with their head a bit, because you're cruising slow, it's kind of suspicious to them, but then you like roll down the window, you wave, like, what's going on, guys? And in their head, they think, do I know this person? No, they wave back all the time. And they'll think, because they don't want to be rude, right? They might have forgot. And I find that very, it's casual and it's not suspicious, right? Because when you're cruising the neighborhood slow, taking pictures, like that's sometimes can be a little bit suspicious. So every now and then though, you will need to do a drive-by photo taking if there's someone in the house, or they're, say you got 100 properties to look at and they're out on the front lawn, or they're working, or they're home, just turn the video camera on and just drive by, casual, low key. So that's a danger. You can't see inside the property. So for the most part, you always have to count on in your numbers like a full rehab, okay? You need to take that into consideration, Because we've gotten into some of these properties and they've been full-on X-Files crime scene, like mold so bad that nobody in the city would touch it. So we factored that in, we made some money on that deal. So you need to factor that in as well, see the property. The next thing is the title research, okay? When you're wholesaling, remember, you get the contract. And once again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. We have a copy of our wholesale contract to get you started. It's in the link below if you want to check it out. But with wholesaling, you get it under contract. You take the contract to the title company, and then they do all of the title research, and at closing, they'll issue the title insurance. That's what's nice about wholesaling, is you can do it remotely. They do the title research. When it comes to tax deeds, you have to do all of the title research, because say it costs 30 to 50 bucks for pulling title, and you have 100, that's, you know, 3,500, $5,000 worth of title insurance. And sometimes that doesn't even guarantee you get a property. So you have to check the title and all of the mortgages and liens yourself to make sure that everything looks good. You want to make sure there's no IRS liens on that property, no environmental liens, things like that, because if you buy that, you could be in a tough situation. And you want to make sure it's not a homeowner association lien, because I've seen people think they buy the deed, but they just paid the homeowner association lien, and they're out of luck pretty hardcore. So learn how to do the property research in that county and do it correctly is very key. Make sure things match up. Make sure the address in the county matches up to the address that's in the field, because sometimes they screw it up. People screw this stuff up. I think we've bought 2 properties so far. One was a county screw up, and then another one was, I think we screwed it up and bought the wrong piece of land, which we did end up selling. I think we lost like $1,000 on it, but it does happen. So anyways, those are some of the dangers, how to avoid them. Tax deeds are great. You can get these home run deals, and I highly recommend doing it. If you want some help, if you want to learn how to buy property 40 to 90% below market value, we have a quick start training called How to Buy Property 40 to 90% below market value. It's in the link below. We got basically a quick starter kit to get you going, rehab calculator, 4 crucial things to avoid, and a copy of our wholesale contract. So go ahead, check it out. It'll help you get going. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.